What's up, guys? Welcome to Among the Finns, my YouTube channel where I do music reviews. My name is Aaron, and today we're going to be checking out the new album, The Price of Dreaming by the band Hollowfront. For those of you who don't know who they are a metalcore band from Michigan, started around 2016, and this is their third studio album. And I gotta admit that I wrote the review up for this album like over a month ago, and then it just got buried under a bunch of other new music that was coming out. I took a week-long vacation, I went out of town, and then came back. And yeah, there's new music, and then there's more new music and more new music. And now I don't know. There's other albums that I've written reviews up for that I just never got around to because either life stuff came up or a really big band just released something, and I want to hurry up and get that one out there so people get to see that review as soon as possible. And it just never got around to it. And I thought this was going to be one of those albums that just got buried under everything. And I'm like, you know what? If people start requesting it, maybe I'll do the review on it. I don't know. And lo and behold, over the past couple weeks, I got a lot of requests to do the review on this. So I'm like, you know what, guys, I already got it written up. So yeah, let's do this thing. The album opens up with the song In the Spotlight, which I really enjoyed this opener. I thought it was just going to be an instrumental thing, but then when the vocals come in, it sounds so good. And it's got an echoey guitar, and it really picks up about midway through with the pounding riff and fantastic lyrics. The drum work is just absolutely insane as well. This is probably one of the best, like, kind of smaller openers to get you pumped for what's to come. And then we have the song Comatose, which was one of the singles released off of this album. It starts off with a really cool riff that changes up a little bit in the verse. The chorus is pretty big, but the hook Comatose is just, it's just been overdone for me. I was already, like, as soon as I saw the name of this song, I was already over it. I was already done. I mean, Skillet was singing about this thing back in 2006, and I don't know. I love the chaotic progression of this song, and then it kind of calms down a little bit in the bridge, and then it works its way back up into the final chorus, which has a lot of atmosphere to it. And I did enjoy the song quite a bit. It's just that hook it's just too cliche nowadays. Self-Sabotage is a contender for one of my favorite songs on this album. I believe it's about body dysmorphia or maybe imposter syndrome, one of the two. It's got a melody that's pretty heavy in the intro, and then it's got a sick riff in the verse. The cleans in the pre-chorus they sound fantastic, and they peak in the chorus, and it sounds so good. It reminds me of something that Era would do, just not as technical and a little bit more mellow. The lyrics are very vulnerable, and the distorted vocals over the bridge and the lead guitar, it's just such a beautiful song. And then we have Thick as Blood, which is very emotional. I believe this is about the passing of a family member, maybe a parent, and just having regrets around that, things you should have done or wish you could have done or said. The chorus is very powerful, as are the lyrics all the way through, and it's very heavy. Like, the heaviest parts in this song still manage to pull out the emotion in it. And then the verses get a little bit better as they go on, as the musical presence tends to get a little bit more intense throughout them. And the breakdown is pretty basic, but it definitely stands out once the vocals come back in. Another song that stood out to me being about family is Dear Sons. It's got a suspenseful buildup, and the vocals come in over very gentle music that drives this song forward. The lyrics are very heartfelt, being basically a song to one of his sons, and the chorus is passionate, proclaiming his love for them, while the verses offer advice and even comfort at times. And then we have the song The Price of Dreaming, which is basically the price of following your dreams even while others tell you not to, or they tell you it's not worth it, or even the voice in your head, I feel like, can do that sometimes too. I mean, me being involved in the music industry in one way or another, whether it's in a band or doing stuff on YouTube, I totally get that. When I tell people, yeah, I do music reviews on YouTube, like, some people think that's really cool, and some people are like, oh, that's a really hard thing to get into. You know, if people don't think they can do it, they try to discourage you from doing it too. And it starts out with a very sick dynamic riff that pulls out for very, very powerful drums in the verse that I enjoyed a lot. The chorus has cleans, and it's drum forward, as is, I feel like most of the song is pretty drum forward. It has a good sound, but to me it's just missing something musical that stands out a little bit more from the guitar or bass, or, I mean, the drums sound good, but they're not doing anything that stands out too much from the rest of the songs. The vocal isolations and cleans and the bridge are beautiful, and the lyrics, again, are just fantastic. I believe Better Off is a song about somebody who betrayed the narrator. It starts out with the atmospheric intro, and then the verses get very aggressive with some fierce vocals. The cleans in the refrain sound really good with the guitar harmonies, and the chorus has this distorted, clean duet thing going on, and the vocals, it's super powerful, very emotional, sounds so good with the two mixed together. And the breakdown has a mixture of vocals and like this guitar melody, and it just makes it stand out so much. It sounds so unique. Then we have the song Treading Water, which sounds like it's a struggle with anxiety and depression, and the riff is very dynamic. It's probably, to me, it's one of the best sounding riffs on this album. It's a lot of fun. Then the chorus has a good rhythm to it from the vocals and the drums, and the lyrics hit the nail on the head with what it feels like to be struggling with this. And in the bridge it says, "Each wave I brace to lose all progress I have made." And I really feel you on that, man. Like I totally understand. But one thing that somebody told me about recently is when you start here with anxiety or depression or anything in life, and you have this thing where you're going up and you're doing really good, and then you dip down, you feel like you've lost all your progress. But don't forget that you made all this progress right here, and it's just a little dip, and you're not back to where you started, which is one thing that's a big struggle in your mind. You feel like you've relapsed back into anxiety and back into your old habits and your old thinking and stuff, when it's just, honestly, it's just a moment of time. And the longer you sit there and think like, oh my God, I've relapsed, the more time you actually spend in that, it actually does feel like you relapsed, because it just makes you more depressed than ever because you feel like you lost everything. So yeah, this song definitely brings that point to the forefront of it. And the second contender for my favorite song on this album is Changeling, which comes in almost genty sounding, but still very angry. The lead harmonies and the pre-chorus are so haunting, and it really comes alive in the chorus, which is very dynamic. This one might be the best chorus on the entire album. And even the guitar solo thing in the second chorus is absolutely brilliant. And it's such a good contrast to all the distortion that's going on around it. And the bridge riffage is perfect. This song is top tier. One of the best songs I feel like Hollow Front has ever done. And then we have the song before it, Two Worlds Away, which this one I wasn't that into. The first verse has clean vocals and kind of a calming guitar. The chorus has some drums and more vocal presence to it. It's a really sad song about missing your significant other. And the bridge brings in the distorted vocals and it adds more energy to this song. And it powers through the outro. It's not a bad song. I feel like I just had a really hard time connecting to it. I don't know. I wasn't that into it. The song Heritage is probably the heaviest song on this album. It's got this weird intro thing that jumps right into the brutal chorus with some guttural vocals, and the verses keep that anger going with some strong drums. This is going to be a mosher's dream live. Even the lyrics make you want to throw down. It's insanely heavy. Like I said, it's the heaviest song that's on this album. Then we have the closing track, Running Away, with clean vocals with some twinkling stuff going on in the background. The distorted vocals give good dynamics before the chorus that's just mostly all vocals and drums. And the bridge finally brings up the heat with a good riff, but then it drops right out with some synth that sounds pretty cool. It's a good closing track. It's just not really what I was expecting, but it definitely does a good job at bringing the entire album down after it's just been an emotional roller coaster. It's just kind of weird that they put Heritage right before it, which is just so heavy and intense. And then you have this song that's trying to bring you back down again from throwing your fists around all day. I liked this album quite a bit, even though there was some things I feel like could have been done better. I mean, the production in it is fantastic. You can hear everything really well, especially a lot of the stuff that's happening kind of in the background of the mix. The riffs all sound really good, but still, like, after a while, they all kind of sound the same. Overall, the album has this really dark undertone to it, and it's very heavy emotionally. The lead stuff, I think, needs a little bit more time to shine, but it all sounds good when you're able to hear it and you focus in on it. It really makes you have to pay attention to what's going on. The lyrics are great in every single song, and you can really feel what the vocalist is trying to communicate to you. It's really tough. It's tough to rate this because, like I said, I enjoyed it a lot. And there's a lot of standout moments to it, and when they stand out, they really hit you. But I feel like it could have been more, with a little bit more just riffs that stick out to you, and a little bit more lead work that stands out. I don't know. Like Changeling to me was the perfect song for that, as far as riffs and the lead work and just the progression of the entire song, how it kind of builds up in certain areas and goes back down a little bit and comes back at you again. That song to me is just fantastic. So with all that said, I gotta give The Price of Dreaming by Holofront a 8.4 out of 10. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I got a lot of requests asking me to do a review on this album, so I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of The Price of Dreaming, what you would rate it, and what your favorite song is. And while you're at it, let me know what I should review next. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. If you want to help support me and my channel, please consider subscribing, ringing the bell icon. It just makes me feel good about myself, and I appreciate it more than you guys could ever imagine. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or night, whenever you happen to be watching this. And I will talk to you guys next time.
I was strong, and ignorant, keep relying on